Last Friday and Saturday there was a pretty good brush fire in the north side of the Verdugo Mountains, starting in the Burbank area. The fire burned up the slopes and the canyons on the north side right to the top of the Verdugos. We could see the flames from our house, as you can see here. They brought in aerial tankers to drop fire retardant on the flames. In fact, some of the planes flew right over our house on their way away from the fire. But then Sunday was a beautiful day with no more smoke or fire visible. So Monday morning I decided I'd hike up to the top to see what was going on. I took the trail off of La Tuna Canyon Road, somewhat west of the fire area. I've been up this way several times before. But it wasn't long before I found that fire crews had been cutting new fire breaks, including some that affected the trail. In fact, in one spot, it pretty well obliterated the trail. This resulted in some pretty slow and careful going. But then things settled down with a pretty clear trail ahead. And then a view back down toward La Tuna Canyon Road. The trail wends its way up through a small side canyon with a stream running alongside, although not much water this time of year. And as we work our way up, we don't see any sign yet of the fire area. Although in one spot we run into a tree that's fallen across the trail. And then the rate of climb increases a little bit. Then we run across that old wrecked pickup that we've always wondered how it got here. And then we start getting up towards the top. Then suddenly the trail breaks out onto a newly bulldozed fire break. This new fire break just obliterates the old trail, so we just follow the fire break on up to the fire road at the top. And from here we can look around and take a look at the scenery below. I guess these new fire breaks were put in just to be sure that to help stop the fire if it went this far west. And then we begin to see the results of the recent brush fire. These are areas where the fire came over the top and started down on the La Crescenta side. But then we started to spot some fire crews. In fact, some of them were down on the slope checking things out. In fact, to my surprise, there was a lot of fire equipment and personnel all over the area. A Forest Service ranger that I talked to told me that they were still there to make sure there weren't any hot spots, especially as some Santa Ana winds were supposed to come in again. He also told me that I really wasn't supposed to be there, but if I walked up the fire road a ways, I could reach a saddle where I could look down on the Burbank side and see where the fire started. He also said I might get chased out by some of the fire crews. So I started on up the fire road to see what might happen. And along the way I saw some evidence that perhaps maybe everything wasn't out. And then ahead was the saddle, where maybe I could look down on the start of the fire area. And once there, I looked down at the Burbank side at the DeBell Golf Course down below. And then I had just enough time to take this little movie before a fire captain stopped by and politely asked me to take off. So then it was back down the fire road, past the firefighters again, and down the new fire break to get back on the trail back below. And then down through the wooded areas and along the stream, through the rather tough blocked areas of the trail, to return to the car parked along La Tuna Canyon Road. A hike turned into an adventure.